And we're live. What up, everybody? Welcome to a Cove Conversation with Music by Jaiden. How are you, Jaiden?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Go ahead and take this minute here to share it out and send the link to the Cove subscribers quick. How's your day going?
My day is going pretty good. I haven't done much today, so
I hear that.
not yet at least. This is my first big thing of the day, so
Okay. We did the morning show today, and then we have the afternoon show, but we'll talk on all of that here once we get into the interview. And we are live, so feel free to say hi to everybody. What up, Amber? What up, Kels? Oh, this is Kels. All right. So I'm ready to dive in whenever you are. We can get started however, wherever. You can start with what. Go ahead.
okay. Well, hi guys. My name is Jaden. It's nice to meet everybody. Thank you so much for being here. You can find me everywhere at Music by Jaden. Today I am talking with the lovely Cove TV. This is a source that I will be using for a research proposal portfolio project in my English 202 class at Bryan and Stratton College. I'm very excited, and I'm hoping for that 100. I've gotten a 100 5 times before this
Oh, wow.
on my portfolio project, so I'm hoping for that 100. Okay, so everybody cross their fingers. So today I am going to ask Beans some questions and then Kel some questions. Beans, what is your role at Cove TV?
My name is Garrett Beener. I go by the name Beans. I am, I guess, the executive producer and the founder of the Cove, co-founder of the Cove, and I'm the one that basically does a lot of the behind-the-scenes work of running the page every day and a lot of the scheduling and working with the different creators to make sure everything flows the way they should.
Okay. And so the Cove TV, as it is right now, of course, is a cannabis friendly broadcasting channel. Was there ever any talk of it not being that way? Talk me through the idea of coming up with Cove TV and implementing like some cannabis focused stuff on your channel?
So I guess there really hasn't ever been talk about it being not cannabis, friendly or whatever. We do have viewers that don't smoke. We have viewers that do smoke. It's more of a place for everybody. The games that we play, some of them are, essentially smoking games where, if you want to cut back and let loose, but you can also just enjoy them too and not smoke and I don't know. I feel like it's an amazing place for everybody to come together to hang out and escape the stress of the world for a couple hours a day, a couple times a day. Truly connect with each other and get to know each other on, on more of a personal basis, I guess.
Yeah. And now I've played some of these games with you guys and they are very fun. Which one is your favorite?
My favorite game has to probably be the Stoner Roulette game. It's a game that isn't really a whole lot of pre-produced. Plus, it gives, we sit and we take names on the wheel. I mean, I know you've seen it, but just to explain, we take names on the wheel for about 40 to 45 minutes, and then we play the game. So anybody who, it could be their first time jumping in. I think one of the first times you watched the Cove, you jumped into play. And, we also have games where people are on teams and there's more production stuff that goes involved into it. Stoner Roulette is just a very simple, easy game that anybody can play. You don't even have to smoke to play it, and you don't even have to be present to technically win.
Mm. Yes, and it was very fun.
I love
it. So with everything going on in the world and there's so many different people with so many different things, just everything going on. Why do you think it's important to have a space like this online?
Well, I feel like everybody has so much going in their life, going on in their life, like you had said. And it seems like a lot of the places that I've seen, people seem to carry their drama and personal life overly into that situation. And there really isn't a place where you can just leave your stuff at the door, come sit down for a couple hours, come hang out, smoke if you want to, don't smoke. We try to do, play good music, uplifting music. play fun games, interactive games. I mean, it is all about the people in the comments and the ones watching. We make it a point to personally say hello to people. And I just feel like, and then when the show is over, we usually have pretty structured shows. And when the show is over, then all right, everybody, it's back to our lives. We had a lot of fun, but, it's time to get back to the real world. And I feel like it's super, super important to be able to give your mind that break, even if it's, there's some people that watch just the morning show or just the afternoon show. And I feel like it's so crucial to be able to just take a step back, breathe, and just hang out, genuinely laugh for, a couple hours.
Yes, and I know for me, when you guys welcomed me by name, that was surprising for me. I've actually been broadcasting since I was 15.
Oh, wow.
So I've been doing it for a while, and I always made it a priority to greet people. And a lot of people don't do that. And I think that it's very straightforward, of course, and also nice, very nice.
Yes. It's very personable. In the mornings on the morning show when people, everybody, I always say good morning, everybody. And that is me genuinely saying good morning to everybody. And then I will go through and everybody gets their good mornings. Everybody deserves it to be recognized.
Yes. Yes. So Cove-TV, obviously, I love it. I will always hype it up. But could you possibly give us a little bit of behind the scenes? What does a day at Cove-TV look like?
So I usually get up about anywhere from 4 to 5. If I'm sleeping a little bit, 6 in the morning on my time. The Cove does run on East Coast time, but I'm in Central time. It's just easier to keep everybody on the same page, running everything on one time zone. And so I usually get up in the morning. I make sure everything's ready for the morning show. I make sure that the schedule is ready for the post. I post the schedule out every morning. There's a Cove-TV subscriber group, and so I always say good morning to them. I put the stuff in there that they get, it's just the exclusive stuff that they get every day. Make sure that I have the segments ready for the morning show-ish, if I, have 3 segments that have to be done, and then do the morning show, end the show. Again, give the clips from the segments to the subscribers, because that's an exclusive thing they get. Kind of hang out, work on other stuff. I do also logo side work and music production side work and stuff like that. And then kind of start getting stuff ready for the afternoon show. I usually take a lunch break, about an hour and a half. And then come back to it. I start working on stuff for maybe a show later on in the week or something else, a side work, a logo or something that, And then about an hour out from the afternoon show, I make sure everything starts getting ready for that. Usually I've already talked to Kelsey. Usually I've talked to Sir Copslot, and I know where he's at in his day because he works full time, so I'll have an idea of when he's coming up. And then, it depends. It goes day to day. There are some games that take a lot more production stuff and pre-planning that goes into them, to where other days it's just like we go live and that's the game starts when we start it. And then same after the afternoon show, kind of hang out, do a lot of production talk with Sir Copslot, who is the other co-founder of Cove-TV. He's a huge part of Cove-TV. Usually, hang out with Kels, and we do a lot of production talk. And then eat supper, hang out for a little bit, kind of take some time off. Hang out with the dog and watch some TV, and then usually about half hour before the night show, start to get ready for the night show, then do the night show, and then rinse and repeat.
Wow, that is a full day right there.
Yeah.
Now, I know some other broadcasting channels do this. None of them get paid. They do it all volunteer. Is that the same here, or do you guys see some type of revenue from this?
So it is, I'll say 80% volunteer. The Cove-TV subscribers, as I've said, so they pay $10 a month, and that helps keep the Cove going. We try to offer like giveaways, and they get their name in a subscriber banner, and there's some other benefits and stuff like that. But honestly, it's the Cove-TV subscribers that keep it going, the family, the support from each other. Kels has personally helped me out. Copsy has personally helped me. We help each other. We make it work. And we also are very understanding. Kelsey works part-time. Copsy works full-time during the day. Man Bear works full-time. And so we help each other out. It is definitely a team effort. But, monetarily wise, we do what we can to keep it going. And we definitely couldn't keep it going without the Cove-TV viewers. I always try to say in my outro that Cove-TV is brought to you by viewers like yourself, because it truly is.
And that's amazing. And it is definitely very hard. I've seen a lot of people struggle to keep their broadcasting channels going because they just don't have the numbers or they don't really have the money. So you guys are in a super great place. And so, in your time running or helping run the Cove TV, how has your perspective on cannabis changed, if it
Okay.
has? And was it positive or was it negative?
Oh, well, never negative. I think that everything is can be a positive experience in itself. Um, but my outlook on cannabis, I've learned so very much. I Minnesota just became a legal state. I'm from Southwest Minnesota. Minnesota just became a legal state a few years ago, and so when it comes to like the strains and all of the cannabinoids and the terpenes and all of that, really scientific kind of stuff, I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. And it's been such a learning experience for me. That's a huge reason why Kelsey's on today, because she is very knowledgeable with that kind of stuff, whereas I don't have that kind of knowledge. And I've also seen that cannabis can really bring people together, but it's so much more than that. I see people connect on the silliest little things, from their favorite dishes to a movie that reminds them of their when they're a kid, or a song that holy crap, my mom liked that song too. What are the odds? We have such a variety of viewers, from ages to we have anywhere from like a 20-something-year-old male to a 70-something-year-old female watching, and it's so amazing to see people connect over something. Yes, cannabis, but more than that at the same time.
Hmm. That is that almost brings up my next question. But right now, some states even still criminalize for the usage and the possession of marijuana. And what is one thing that people should know about cannabis that's something positive? Because there's a lot of misinformation and there's a lot of people who say very horrible things about it.
Oh
But
yeah.
what's one positive thing, something good that people should know?
I can't. It's mind blowing the amount of people that I've seen it bring together, and we're all just floating around on this social media world, looking for other, quote unquote cannabis users or whatever, and then you meet real true friends. And I'm a huge believer in that you can be addicted to anything. If it's detrimental to your health and you like too many Jolly Ranchers, you might have a problem with that. And I just feel like the negative outlook on cannabis can be applied to anything. So why not take that positive outlook that you can apply to anything and put it towards cannabis, or anything in life in general? But it's the community that surrounds cannabis is wildly supporting. It is probably one of the most supportive communities I've ever seen.
Well, thank you. That is so amazing. I love your perspective, and that's wonderful. And I do think people should know that. Kels, I wanted to turn to you
Yeah.
and I wanted to ask you, what is your role at Cove TV?
So I do a little bit of producing. I'm just learning. I am one of the personas on the show, uh, and I have my own Dabber Chick show. It's a terpene show, and we have a movie Wednesday show. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Amazing. So, this first question is going to be a two-parter. So, just stick with me here, okay? Should all states legalize medical marijuana? If so, what would be the biggest benefit of this? And then, vice versa, should all states legalize recreational marijuana? And what do you think the biggest benefit of that would be?
I think marijuana should be legalized, on a state basis, not something federal, because I think once it goes to federal, then it would be like a Walmart of cannabis, in my opinion. So, medical, yes, a lot of states should be medical, but not all states should be recreational. It's it comes down to the legislative of the legislature of everything, and the states, the government that runs each state.
Okay. Okay. So we live in a world that there's a lot of people out there that would call us drug addicts or say that cannabis might lead to more hard drugs. It's as they call it, gateway drug.
Mm.
So, how important is it for us to have correct information about cannabis?
I think it's, very important. Scientists should be doing more research on it as a medicine than more so as it being classified as a drug. I mean, a lot of drugs are in medicine. They're very closely related, but yeah, they should definitely be doing more research on the healing benefits of cannabis, the terpene healing benefits of cannabis, and just the all around structure of, not just it being only a drug, being like how they had hemp, ropes, housing, all of that.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's a great answer. So, there is cannabis that you can grow at home. Of course, you can get seeds, you can grow it at home, or they do have these like kind of massive plants that they grow it at when it's more medical. Do you think there is a benefit of growing your own cannabis? And what do you think those benefits might be?
In Washington, you can't grow at home, so that's in my state at least. You're not legally allowed to be doing that. But I think growing at home, it really shows you, from seed to what you're smoking, of what you've done with your plant, and like what goes into your plant, what kind of nutrients you're putting in your plant, what kind of pesticides you are putting on your plant yourself, and it's just it really shows you like what you're smoking compared to something that you would go to the dispensary and find and not know anything about it because the packaging is so vague.
Hmm. Hmm. Now, this kind of leads into my next question. Um, what changes do you hope that the cannabis industry might make?
In Washington, definitely growing at home. I think it would help a lot of the medical patients who are still medical in Washington
Hmm.
to be able to have their own medicine at hand
Hmm.
instead of having to go to the dispensary or to even black market areas to get what they need, because there's a cap on what you can buy, what you can get, and how what the THC level is on the different products. So
Hmm.
I think that they should change the way the law was written originally in Washington.
Hmm. Yeah. And in New York, we do also have some laws like that. We have of course medical like dispensaries, but
Hmm.
we also have recreational dispensaries, and they do limit the amounts that you can get. Do you know how expensive it is to get medical cannabis? And also, why do you think that insurance will not pay to get cannabis?
Um, for a medical card in Washington, I think it's about $200, and then you pay $50 every year to renew it. Um, and I was already of legal age when cannabis came around, especially like recreational stores. So I never really thought about getting a medical card. But even with a medical card in Washington, you can't grow, you can't, own a firearm. There's a lot of things that getting a medical card can help you in, but also can hold you back. It just
Mhm.
depends on, which way you want to go with it.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Beans. What is one positive thing that people should know about cannabis?
Um, One positive thing people should know about cannabis is it's not something that, oh, it's for everyone for sure, but it does do that healing that you wouldn't necessarily know that it's healing. Like your physical being, your mental being, like it just depends on what you're using it for, what you need it for. A lot of people are turning to edibles instead of smoking because the combustion, it hurts your lungs a little bit. So edibles are something to look into. But yeah.
Well, I have one last question for both of you. What is your favorite way to smoke?
I'll let Kels go first.
I love dabs. Dabs are amazing. They just get you to that level a lot quicker than the flower does, and I like them a lot.
Okay.
I do love flower. That would probably be my favorite, but I do smoke a lot of dabs, and so I would have to probably say right now it's been a lot of dabs.
Follow-up question. For somebody who's just a beginner, they've never smoked before, would dabs be a good idea for them to smoke their
No,
first time?
Definitely
no.
not. Definitely not.
No. What would you suggest for their first time smoking?
A vape pen or a simple, maybe just a small hit off the joint or
A
something small.
bowl and a spoon pipe and some weed. That's what I would say. Start off slow.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for having this discussion with me. This was so much fun, you guys. And I see all the comments. Thank you to everybody.
Yes,
And I hope to get that 100 and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
absolutely. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Anything anybody want to say? All right. Much love, everybody. We'll see you guys this afternoon.
Peace out, y'all.